Morning everyone. Hello. Let's get right into marching. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm about to guide you through today's Liit circuit. I'm going to recommend you have a variety of weights available. We got a bit of an upper body focus for today. Depending on how you're feeling, how tight things are, especially in your upper back, you really might find that you need some lighter weights. Even though these moves aren't necessarily focused on your upper back, I'm gonna walk over here and bribe the bird, but let's just keep on marching. Keep marching. Think about giving yourself some really big shoulder rolls in one direction, whether both shoulders are moving at the same time, or you got one sexy shoulder rolling. Keep those shoulder rolls in the same direction. Oops, for 3, 2, disaster over here. 1, and then change the directions of your awesome, sexy, or both at the same time shoulder circles. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Plant your feet, bend your knees, inhale your arms all the way up overhead. Let's pull one arm, elbow all the way down like you're drawing a bow and arrow, and inhale that arm back to the sky. Exhale, squeeze, pull, drawing your elbow in and towards your hips, squeezing your shoulder blades, scapula together. I also have my lower belly engaged a bit. A little bit of bracing from the abdominal core. You can exaggerate the reach up, maybe even working towards the idea of stacking the shoulders if that range of motion feels good for you. You're moving at your own pace. I know I sped things up just a little bit. Last 1 or 2 to each side. Make sure that you finish even Stevens. Inhale both arms all the way up overhead. Awesome. We're going to take a teeny little step back with some figure 8s with your arms. Maybe you're really rotating a lot through the chest and shoulders too, but we're warming up those abs a bit more. Keep that lower belly pulled in and try to keep your rotation through the upper body, but as much stillness right here through the center line as possible. If you're feeling good, you can speed it up. Just those big figure 8s with your arms and a gentle tap to the back. For 4, 3. Can you bring a smile to your face? 2. Awesome. 1. Great. Shake it out. Shake those arms out. Getting my timer over here. We got 5 different moves today. Let's go for doing each of them, hopefully at least twice. The first move that we're going for is going to use some slightly lighter weights. We got a lot of combos. Keep marching for just a moment while I finish setting up this amazing timer. We're going right from one circuit into the other. We got 40 seconds of work. We got 20 seconds of rest. 2 times, that's it. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's only 4 moves. I don't know. No, it's 5 moves. Okay, Jessica. 3. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you move number 1. Jessica, oh my gosh, clearly I'm ready for vacation, y'all. Sun outside and sleep. So move number 1, starting already with your biceps slightly engaged, we're going to be here at this 45-degree angle. Make sure that your shoulders are rolled down and back. You can have a slight bend in your knees, just don't be locking your knees out. We're going to go for a little bit of a serve, like you're truly serving a platter to some people ahead of you, coming to about chest height, like right above your chest. Quick little serve. And then open out towards the side. You can do one at a time or both at the same time. And then 2 full range of motion curls from here back to 45, center, and serve and begin again. We start in 3, 2, 1. Shoulders down and back. Here we go. Belly in, so you're serving forward. You're rotating to the side, elbows staying close, full range of motion, getting this nice W posture curl back to your 45 to the center, serve. If your weights are really light, you might be able to move a little bit faster. If your weights are a little bit heavier, you're moving at a pace that dictates what is right for you so that you're in control. We're not rushing through the movement because I want you to stay as engaged as possible. Do your best to also keep your wrist in line so we're not curling the wrist up. Oh, we made it. Next up, light or no weights, we're gonna go for a pec squeeze. So you're gonna bring your arms to a 45-degree angle, shoulders still roll down and back, take that extra flare out of your rib cage. So you need to knit things in here, and we're just gonna squeeze, 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 drawing elbows together and open back up. Here we go, 40 seconds of work. Exhale, bring it all together. Inhale, open it up nice and slow. You can see I'm really doing my best to keep my elbows in line with the chest and shoulders, not letting them droop down, because then you're going to lose out a lot of this big squeeze of your chest and your pecs. You might feel it a bit in your traps here as well. Come on back to noticing what's happening with your rib cage as your arms open up, reminding you that it's normal if they're flaring out here. So you just want to do your best, just like we did with those figure eights for your arm, to pull back in from your center line to find control. We got a couple breaths left. You made it. All right, next up, we're going to step to the side and take an overhead press. Maybe you're stepping to the side for an overhead press. If stepping's hard for you, keep your feet separate. We can always go for a side lunge to the center, overhead press. Ready? Let's go for it. I'm going to keep feet wide, go for that side lunge, back to center, push up high to the sky, keeping the weight right here by the chest. Each time I come to the side lunge, glutes are extending behind me, getting the most length in the non-bent knee as possible, with the edge of that foot pressing down towards the floor. Feel a bit more in those inner outer thighs. And remember, if you want a little bit more, you can step out into that lunge and then overhead, or maybe you're just stepping to the side and you're not doing the lunge at all today, because that's what's right for your body. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We got an upright row coming up. So once again, shoulders down and back. You're going to lead with your elbows. Weights come right up to the top of your chest. If you're having trouble doing both arms at the same time, think about getting one arm at a time. As I draw up, I'm also really squeezing that scapula shoulder blade back and bringing attention once again to that rib cage, making sure it didn't flare. I hope you heard the beep and you got started. If this upright row is way too much for you, then simply hinge forward and come into any kind of a row, whether it's a low row or it's a wide row. I'm going to stick with this upright row though, because I'm really thinking a lot today about that upper body, ready for summer. Find that extra squeeze at the top. You're so worth it. Engage your back. Awesome. We got one last move. We're coming down to the floor for a bird dog fly. You can bring your weights with you. You can keep both knees on the floor. Only one hand needs a weight. We're going to fly to the side. If it helps, no, probably wouldn't help. You can always extend the opposite leg back. No, I think it does help for a little bit of more balance and length. Keep your belly pulled in and do your best to just not let your hips rotate to the side. If you find you're having trouble coming back into tabletop, and if you find like your arm feels too short, maybe you place your opposite hand back on top of the weight for a little extra lift, or you could have always put it on top of a block. There's always time. We're going to have a second set coming up. We just got one time of this to each side. Keep your chest towards the floor, find that squeeze, and let's stand up. One more time through, shoulders down and back, palms facing up, 45 degrees. Let's get ready to serve. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So serve it forward, elbows back by your side, rotate out your 2 full range of motion bicep curls with your wrist in line with your forearm, back to 45, center. Serve it forward, in, rotate out, keep your rib cage in. So much thought today about what's happening with the center line of our body. How frequently do you think about it? Maybe more than average. I know, especially with summer coming up, it's on my mind Doing my best in the kitchen as well as in the bedroom, trying to get some sleep. You might have noticed I've added a second serve here. Finishing up the range of motion. You can stop right now or finish your circuit. Next up, we've got those pec squeezes again. So shake it out, grab a weight that's right for you. 10 seconds till we get started. Bring that smile back to your face. You showed up for yourself today. You are amazing. Chest up, shoulders roll down and back, belly in, find your squeeze. Remember, you can be doing this with no weights in your hands at all. Like you're squeezing an imaginary ball between your elbows using your breath. If you find that you're really rounding here or you're challenged, put the weights down. Still challenge yourself, but challenge yourself to engage right here at these pecs. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. It's up to you to bring the squeeze too. Anyone can just bring their arms in and out. Wow, we did it. What is next? We've got our step to the side, step in, overhead press, or you're finding that side lunge, or you're staying with your feet wide to make it happen. But either way, we've got that overhead press in the center. You ready? Great. So side lunge or step to the side, step back in, press. I know it's a little harder for me to make this move in my living room. The space is limited, so I'm going to come on back to this, just alternating side to side. Sending glutes back behind you each time, lots of weight in the heels. Don't lose out on that connection with the pinky edge side of your foot pressing into the floor for your straight leg. It's going to just activate things a little bit more. We're almost there, almost there. Keep going. I'm so proud of you. I hope that you're so proud of yourself. What's next, you say? Our upright rows. Last two moves. And then we're right into our cool down and stretch. Shoulders down and back, chest lifted, belly in nice and tight, slight bend in your knees. You ready to drive with the elbows? Good, here we go. I'm starting a little early. Exhale on the way up, nice and controlled on the way up down. Remember, you can do one arm at a time. And as you can see, once I get to the top, extra little squeeze at the top. But try not to bring a lot of extra rounding and not just rounding back. I'm engaging the back as much as possible. And if you're like, how are you getting those elbows up so high? It's yoga, it's practice. I promise you, when I first went to yoga and we would do this move, ooh, I would like secretly cry in the back of the room. But over time, that range of motion builds. You just have to keep showing up for yourself, and that's why we're here today. Let's come on back down towards the floor. We've got our last bird dog fly. I'm going to put a block under my hand to make sure I have that extra space. Hands, palms underneath of your chest, hips on top of your knees, shoulders down and back, belly in. We're flying to the side. Go ahead, get started. Last move. Right here. Use your full length of your exhale. Hold for a second and then lower back down. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders. I know I was starting to early in the morning, waking myself up, hopefully waking you up too. Always good to think about form no matter what time of day you're going. You can be tired in the morning. You can be tired in the afternoon. You can be tired in the evening too. In fact, I bet I will be. Here we go. Almost there. Almost time to stretch. Yay! Put your weights over to the side. Go ahead, open your knees nice and wide. Send your glutes back towards your heels. Walk your hands as far forward as feels good for them today. Ooh. I'm going to place this block under my head because I'm having some eye issues. Having my head all the way down to the floor does not feel good, and that is why I always remind you that every day is different, and you've got to do what feels right for your body today. So just because you did something yesterday, and just because you're going to do something tomorrow, doesn't mean that it needs to look the same today, and doesn't mean that you need to judge yourself for it, because all that matters is that you show up for you. because you want to make a difference for yourself, not for anyone else. You gotta want it for you, and when you do, that is when you will see the results. I promise you. If you feel like you're lacking at all in your internal motivation, come talk to us. Press yourself up into tabletop. Give yourself some delightful cat-cows. We really did focus on upper body today, so maybe you think a little bit more about shaking through the shoulders, maybe giving yourself some circles with your shoulders. If you do something in one direction, try it out in the opposite direction. Just making sure that we're nice and even Stevens. Let's take a big old thread the needle stretch while we're here as well. So keeping your right hand down on the floor, inhale your left arm all the way up to the sky. Nice thoracic rotation as well. Can you take a moment and try and stack your shoulders? One more big inhale, squeeze shoulder blades together, and then exhale, weave your left arm underneath of your body. Bring your left temple towards the floor. Your right hand can stay right here as support, or maybe you walk your right hand all the way forward. Glutes can come back towards your heels, similar to child's pose. Take 3 or 4 breaths. It's also very normal while your arm is extended forward. If you start to feel any twitching or trembling, especially the longer that you are in this hold, don't worry, you're just waking up some of your joints, ligaments, tissues, even your bones. The longer that you hold into a stretch, just bring them some love and make some changes. Go ahead, walk your hands back in. Press yourself up. Reach all the way up towards the sky. Find that rotation again. Left hand down towards the floor. Inhale your right arm up towards the sky. Reach, 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 reach. Squeeze shoulder blades together. And then exhale, thread the needle. Right arm comes underneath. Bring your right ear towards the floor. Remember, your left hand can stay right here, or option to walk the left hand forward. Glutes can sink back towards your heels. Slow your breath down. Can you set in a positive intention for yourself for today? Do you do that? I honestly will lay in bed until I can think of 3 positive affirmations or thoughts or feelings to start the day. And they can truly be anything, like reminding myself that there's no one better to be than myself, and I get better every single day, or something that I can look forward to, or something that I know I can accomplish and take some pride in. Go ahead and walk your left hand back in. Inhale your right arm all the way up towards the sky. Find that rotation. Exhale, right hand back down towards the floor. Tuck your toes under, send your glutes up towards the ceiling. Take a quick moment, pedal through your heels. Belly comes closer towards your thighs. Head comes between your arms. And then sink your heels to the floor as you walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. Inhale into a half lift and exhale down into your forward fold. Extra little stretch into the hamstrings. If you're feeling good, you can shift a little bit more weight into your toes. Relax shoulders away from your ears. Engage your lats down towards your hips. Extra space just created for your neck, for your breath. Generously bend your knees and then slowly roll yourself up. 1 vertebrae at a time. Slow, 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 slow with intention. Head over heart, over hips, over heels. Shoulders down and back. Turn your hands, palms forward. Inhale them all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, cactus your arms. Squeeze your glutes. Push your hips. A nice little standing back bend. Last stretch of the chest. Feels so good. Inhale, arms up high. And exhale, take your time as you bring your arms down. I like to stretch them all the way out towards the side to flex my fingers back towards my face. Nice stretch. I feel it so big from the wrist all the way towards the elbows. As your hands come closer to the floor, interlace them behind your back and stretch your knuckles down. Take that overarching of your back. See if you can even bring your hands away from your glutes. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release it back down. Interlace your fingers in front of you. A nice little standing cat. Push your hands once forward. Exaggerate the stretch in your back. And then great news. Inhale your arms up overhead. You got one more opportunity to find the stretch that feels good for you to bring your arms down by your side. I'm giving myself some sparkle magic fingers to bring some sparkle and magic to the rest of the day and my weekend. Do you hear that? Powers that be. I'm ready for your magical amazement. All right. I hope that you are too. I hope that more than anything, you're so proud of yourself for showing up today that you're feeling good for doing something. If you have any questions or concerns, you know you can reach out. Have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend.